it's like you can look at yourself and you can see, that person inside of you just because you remember the expressions that they used to give you. Growing up, we remember those expressions. I'm like, yeah, I feel like she's going to be disappointed. I feel like I'm being controlled and my decisions are being altered, as everyone has this joint consciousness, and it's like they know, even though if they don't know that they know, and therefore when everyone is connected, you go out and you just want to be private. You know what's good for you and you know what's bad for you, but you know what to do. You know how to stop the feeling the way you're feeling, because you know your body, you know yourself more than anyone else. But how can you cater to yourself when you're so connected consciously and everyone is so mindful to everyone else? How can you do what's best for you in a crowded room when everyone else thinks they know what's best for you when they really don't? I was walking to the store and I was just like, all of a sudden, 2 cars that was parked out front of the store left. The 2 cars left, and I'm pretty sure those cars belonged to the owners of the store. And I'm like, how all of a sudden, as soon as I approach this store, these two cars dart off. And that's what I told this guy. This guy was like, I told this guy, and I was like, I can never do what I need to do for myself. People in control of the situation. I know what I need, as a person. And if I can't get what I need, then I have to take an alternative. I have to have an alternative. And the fact that people just keeps getting in my way and trying to stop me every time, how will I ever, be okay? How would I feel okay if there's so many people blocking my way, trying to stop me from doing what I need to do? And it only comes to mind that they don't want me to be okay, and I don't know why this is. The fact that I'm a mother doesn't matter if I'm a mother or not. So, like I said, I don't care. I can be, a disgrace. I can be I can be a disappointment. I can be, everything of what everybody thinks of me, because I don't care anymore. I just know my situation and I know what I have to do. I know the steps I have taken, and I know what worked for me before may not work now. But at the same time, I know what it takes to get to a certain place. So, like I said, I was just sitting out there. I was sitting out there waiting. And if this didn't work, I already had it set in my mind of, what else I can do if this doesn't work, since everyone, wants to control the situation and stand in the way of what I'm doing. So, I say people because I have certain names in my mind, but I don't say the names, so I just say people. So they know, and the fact that everyone knows is a disadvantage. That's the only thing I feel that's good about being on, a prescription, being diagnosed and going to the hospital and getting what you need, even though it's not, it may not be it may be frowned upon with other people because they look at you like, you're doing this and you're not strong enough to deal with, the world, how we have dealt with it. But it's more of, I feel like she has a closed door to herself. That's how I felt when I was on my medications. I had a closed door. I was closed off. I couldn't be read. And the fact that, that door has been open, it's like now, people can use all these things against you that makes you better, that makes your wellness good and work for you. It's like you have to do certain things because of what your body received before. And it's a lot of people that just don't want to go through, what you're dealing with. So they're trying to close you off from everything else that works for them. They're trying to push you aside because of everything that you're carrying. They don't want to carry that on. They don't want to carry that with them. So they rather push you away or block you off from certain things because of everything that you have inside of you that they can't deal with. But guess what? It all started with them from the beginning. How did I receive all these medications? How did I receive all these substances into my body to make my body crave, the next thing if it's not receiving what it used to receive? How did it all start? It all started with the very people that's trying to push this person away from what they used to feed them. And now you don't want to deal with your own shit. These people don't want to deal with their own shit. If they had not got involved, they would not be going through, they would not be facing these times with karma. So yes, look at me as karma, because maybe I am their karma. Started from the womb, and it shouldn't have been tampered with. People need a chance to deal with their stuff. They need to deal with their body. They need to deal with their emotions. And this is how they grow into to become who they're meant to be in future tense. This works for them because now they're strong. They can deal with society without depending on society. And that's what they did. They created this dependency. Because now you interfered with human creation. You interfere with somebody else's, shit. We're shits. That's what we are. We're our mother's shit. We're our father's shit. So when you go and you mess with somebody else's shit, now you're taking on their shit. And when you do that, there's consequences. And now karma's walking around, trying to find a solution to your problem. It may interfere with other people's lives because that's how these people created. They created it this way. They did this. It would have been a challenge. It would have been difficult. I admit, this person, that they seen something, that they seen a darkness in me, and all they wanted to do was shed light on my situation. I was writing poems and this and that, but I felt good. I felt prideful, of my work. So therefore, I was in a vulnerable state of showing my counselor my work, and she frowned upon my work. She got scared and she got sad, and she felt everything that I was feeling. I don't know if she was, but maybe she was afraid of what I was feeling or what I would do to myself if this continued. But instead of letting, whatever happened prosper, she went to a quick fix. And, me being young, it's hard to guard yourself. It's hard to say no, especially when you're by yourself, you're alone and you really don't talk as much as you need to. That I was vulnerable. I was a vulnerable kid. And what happens to a vulnerable kid out, in the wilderness? They get snatched, they get attacked, they get, kidnapped, all of that. So, yeah, I feel like that's what happened, honestly. Everyone who wants to be in control, that's the thing. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter where you try to hide, Life goes on and life will find you. If not that person, life will find you and take back what was snatched.